Time now to talk about the hot topics in the Bay Area. Jobina Fortson is joining us today for the conversation. Hey, Jobina.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Okay, we're going to start with one of the biggest issues affecting the Bay Area, the housing crisis. Is God the answer? Churches in the Bay Area are working to build affordable housing on their property. So what do you think? Go to abc7news.com/vote. Let us know if this is a good idea or a bad one. So our media partner, the Mercury News, did a story on this, and they report that 2 congregations in East Palo Alto are now in talks with developers. In the East Bay, All Souls Episcopal Parish in Berkeley is tearing down an apartment building it owns and replacing it with affordable studio apartments. Churches in West Oakland and Walnut Creek also doing the same thing. So quick background on this. This actually started not in the Bay Area, but in California and San Diego with a group called Yes in God's Backyard. That's, of course, in response to the famous NIMBY phrase, not in my backyard. And it represents people who oppose developments in their neighborhood. So they're trying to take a different tactic and pray about it and make some buildings about it. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
I mean, I personally think, why not? I mean, we have a housing crisis, right? So any way to create more housing and offer that to people, I would think is a good thing. So, I mean, I understand the religious hesitation there with some individuals. I get that. But it seems to me that they're offering this to anyone.
Yeah. Not just the parishioners or the church staff. You're absolutely right. And what's interesting is that they can seek out this creative alternative idea because of a confluence of factors, right? Number one, a lot of these churches have owned their land for decades, right? And then a lot of people have moved out of the Bay Area because of the high housing costs. So now they're looking at a diminishing congregation, right? They have the extra spot in the parking lot. They're thinking, why not, right? And this is also a way to maybe bring people back. So it seems like it could be a win-win as long as the city is okay with it. Like they might have to rezone in some places, get permits. But why not?
I mean, it's not exactly what it sounds like either, because you think, oh, I'm living at a church. Well, not necessarily. I mean, churches own land in lots of places that aren't like where the actual parish is. So it would just be like having, to me, I think it would be like having any other landlord that you probably don't have a lot of interaction with. You just write the check, right?
It's not like there are any sort of requirements about needing to attend service or any sort of Bible study or anything like that. If you're offering the location, and as you mentioned, if the land is paid for, because we know that's half the battle here is getting the property, then
no strings attached, but it would be nice if you wanted to support the services oftentimes the church can offer right next door, right? You have that added convenience. So what do our viewers think? Churches building affordable housing on their property. Overwhelming 86% of you say good idea.
There we go. Okay, so this is a big one, and Reggie, I know you were impacted over the weekend. Do you still carry cash? Head over to abc7news.com/vote. Let us know if cash is still the king in your life.
Yeah, well, he had $2 in his pocket.
I know. So listen to what happened in this weekend. Okay, we're asking you because we need to tell you all about Target's technical problems over the weekend. Target says a vendor it uses to help accept payments had an issue at one of its data centers. Stores were unable to process certain card payments over the weekend. And on Saturday, the retailer's checkout system suffered a national outage. A problem during routine maintenance is to blame for that. And now I personally let go of cash a few years ago, actually, because of Venmo and Cash App and all of these other ways. And I just feel as maybe a young woman on the street, if someone were to take my bag and I lose that cash, then I don't have it.
It's true.
But in this situation, it would have been very handy.
Yeah, because they only process the sales, the transactions, if you had the cash, right?
Exactly.
I was actually there, didn't have the cash, was turned away. You know where everybody went? To the Marshalls next door. I'd never seen the Marshalls line that long. But, you know, I was wondering, like, in this case, credit cards didn't work, right? But some people don't even carry credit cards anymore, right? They just do Apple Pay or whatever, all those other options you mentioned. And recently, I was at a food truck outside the station where it was cash only because their machine was down. I waited 30 minutes and almost couldn't get any food were it not for the kindness of a stranger who bought my lunch for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we became friends after standing there for 30 minutes waiting to get to the front of the line. But yeah, so I guess there are situations where you still need the cash, Reggie.
Right, okay. I mean, I'm with Jobina, though. I love using my Apple Pay.
It's just so convenient.
Get that thing out, and scan it. I'm annoyed. Actually, at Target doesn't take Apple Pay. So that annoys me that I have to, oh my gosh, get my wallet out.
I know.
What year is it?
And then uncrinkle the mixture and count it. I mean, but then I was at the Giants game over the weekend, and so I take it back. I have given up cash, but I went to an ATM because I knew where we were going, and the people that are selling the peanuts and all of that.
Oh,
so,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
I had a $5 bill ready to go.
Yeah.
But you know, we had the whole cashless argument here because there are stores like Amazon Go that don't accept any cash.
Right.
And now they're going to have to because San Francisco passed this ordinance that says you can't have cashless stores. So cash isn't going anywhere, at least in the city of San Francisco and other major cities. So I guess I need to remember my ATM
That's right, because
pin.
anything electronic can go down.
Yes,
it could be hacked. So keep a little cash. And when we ask our viewers, do you still carry cash? 87% say yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can I have some?
Yeah, all of us, please. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you asked nicely. Hey, would you shock yourself? Here's a question to kind of prevent a bad habit or to kick a bad habit. Before you answer, well, go to abc7news.com/vote and let us know. Amazon is selling a device that's designed to give yourself a shock anytime you give in to temptation. It's called the Pavlok wristband, and it costs $200. You can have it send a shock anytime you find yourself falling victim to your bad habits like biting your nails, smoking, eating too much food, etc., etc. You can also download the Pavlok app to send a jolt to your phone. Now, obviously, the name is a play on Pavlov's dogs, right? That famous psychology experiment, right, where dogs were trained to associate a reward with a stimulus. And in this case, if you associate your bad habit with that shock stimulus, then your brain learns, supposedly, to avoid that bad behavior. So what do you think? Could it work?
I have a question, Kristen. How does it even know when you're doing the bad habit?
Boom. Bingo. I'm with you, sister. Yeah. So we looked into the technology, right? Our awesome producer did. So it itself doesn't know when you're doing it. Okay. And it doesn't have the AI to train itself so that after you shock yourself 10 times and they go, oh, that's smoking, I'm going to shock her now. It doesn't know that. So either you do it yourself or you have a trusted friend do it for you. They can do it on their app, give you a shock when they see you twirling your hair or biting your nails. Would you trust your friend to do that?
Okay, this gets the harshest category from me, which is honey bunches of nope. Never, ever. I think this is a horrible idea. Someone is trying to make a fool out of you today by spending $200 on this thing. So I was wondering, how much of a shock are we talking about?
Yeah, right.
And do they have a comparative level?
Well, yes, they said.
Right, you guys have the answers.
Like mild discomfort.
They said it's like if you go across the carpet in your socks and then you touch the door handle. That kind of shock.
That's not a big shock, though.
I don't want anyone shocking me.
Right.
For any reason, including myself.
Oh my God, it could so be abused. I'm mad at you today, Jobina.
I think that's an awfully expensive accountability partner. And
good point.
You know, aren't we all adults here?
Thank you, and not dogs.
Exactly. We don't have leashes. We have the bracelet. I just think we should be a little bit more responsible.
A little bit more responsible. By the way, how this idea came about was that the creator said that he wanted to kick his habit of getting on Facebook too much, so he actually hired someone to slap him every time they saw him getting on Facebook.
We need him on Midday Live, what it sounds like.
Wait, is this the Folsom Street Fair? That doesn't come till later this summer.
Oh, Reggie, I think our viewers are with us. Would you shock yourself to prevent a bad habit? 84% of you say no. Or in your case, honey bunches
of notes. Do you like that one?
I'll have to use that later.
I stole it from my friend Lisa Respers France. Credit to you.
Oh, nice.
All right. That was fun.
That was fun.
The other team, not named the Warriors, is celebrating with the parade today. I need every Dubs fan to hear what I'm about to say.
Okay, it's hard to believe, but the O.J. Simpson Bronx